What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some more Lions news and rumors. Over the past couple of days, I have fallen behind with the news and rumors. However, in today's video, we have 4 new free agent acquisitions to talk about, as well as a couple more potential rumored free agents that the Lions are rumored to be interested in. Obviously, today in this video, we'll be talking about each and every one of those individual free agents, each and every one of the 4 new Detroit Lions that have been added to this Lions roster over the past couple of days. The good, the bad, and the other from the signings, what it means for the Detroit Lions moving forward, and obviously how this does impact our Lions. Now, before we get into the video and before we get into this new Lions news and rumors, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It's quick, free, and easy. There is literally no downside to it, and you would be helping the channel out tremendously, and you would be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe, I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But with all of that being said, and without any further ado, let's get into this new Detroit Lions news and rumors and what this means for our Lions moving forward. Now, as I said in the beginning and as I said in the intro, the Detroit Lions have been pretty busy over the past couple of days. They've signed 4 new free agent acquisitions and have brought in 4 new players to compete on this Lions roster. Now, none of these players are really big name guys. None of these players are going to be big name contracts or big money contracts, big name players, or big free agent acquisitions from many people's standpoints. However, the Lions are looking to build something. And obviously, even with these signings being smaller signings, even with these signings not necessarily being the big name splashy free agent picks, these are picks that I think have a lot of potential, have a lot of upside, and I think are actually very smart pickups by Brad Holmes and the Lions. Now, the first player we'll be talking about today, and the first free agent acquisition the Lions signed to a contract, is former Green Bay Packers backup quarterback Tim Boyle. Now, Tim Boyle is a very young quarterback, I believe only 26 years of age, and although he does not have a lot of statistics, doesn't have a lot of highlights, obviously hasn't played a lot since he was the backup to Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle does have quite a bit of upside, was obviously the backup quarterback in Green Bay, obviously was able to learn under Rodgers, obviously was able to play and compete with Rodgers day in and day out, and obviously Tim Boyle never had the opportunity to start in Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers, being the MVP candidate, being the MVP quarterback that he is, wasn't going to give Tim Boyle that chance. However, I do think it says something that Tim Boyle was actually able to beat out consistently former first-round pick and the Green Bay Packers' latest first-round pick in Jordan Love. He actually beat him out for the entire season for that backup spot. Obviously, Jordan Love had that potential. Obviously, Jordan Love had the talent to go in the first round, and the fact that he was beat out consistently by Tim Boyle does give me a little bit of hope, does give me a little bit of excitement for this pickup. Obviously, we're hoping Tim Boyle never sees the field, and obviously, we're hoping Tim Boyle does not actually play for the Detroit Lions all that much. However, I do think this is a good upgrade at the backup position. He signed with the Detroit Lions for a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, so a pretty cheap backup quarterback, nothing really expensive, nothing really breaking the bank. However, I do think it is an upgrade at backup quarterback over Chase Daniels for a cheaper contract, and overall, although again, this isn't a flashy signing, this isn't a big name, big contract, I do really like this pickup for the Detroit Lions. The second signing that the Lions made over the past week is another signing of a former first-round pick. This is a guy that was a former first-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, and this, of course, is the pickup of defensive end Charles Harris. Now, Charles Harris was a first-round pick, as I said, in the 2017 NFL Draft class. However, he's not really lived up to the expectations set upon him for a first-round draft selection. In his career so far, in his young and early career, he has not seen the success that was predicted for him when coming out of Missouri. Charles Harris only has played in 54 games in the NFL, has totaled 6.5 sacks, 79 total tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 28 quarterback hits. Hasn't really been a great pass rusher, hasn't really been a great player, and really hasn't lived up to that first round standard, hasn't really lived up to that first round prediction or that first round value that they took him with. However, he is also only 26 years of age. He's a very young pass rusher, and I believe the Lions obviously getting him on a very cheap deal, only a 1 year, $1.75 million contract, does give the Lions a lot of upside. It's a very low risk, high reward kind of a contract. Either you get him for, obviously, as I said, 1 year, $1.75 million, and you get him for that 1 year. It doesn't cost you a lot of money. He doesn't perform. Or you get him for super cheap, and he has his breakout season, finally lives up to that first round hype, finally lives up to that first round pedigree that he was drafted for, finally lives up to his potential, and finally shows what he was worth as a first round pick. Either he does that on a cheap contract and we re-sign him, or he doesn't show that, he kind of plays average like he's been in his NFL career so far, and we get him for 1 year on an extremely cheap contract that the Lions really aren't paying that much money for him to be here. I think our new defensive Lions coach is going to have a lot of fun with this guy. I think there's a lot of potential still. Obviously still a very young pass rusher on a very cheap contract. With our new defensive Lions coach, I'll be very interested and very intrigued to see if he can maybe turn around the career of Charles Harris and maybe a couple of other guys on this Lions roster that had potential coming out of college and just haven't been able to show it yet. I think there's always that potential as well. So I'm a big fan of this pickup as well. Again, not a big name player, but a guy with a lot of potential, a young player to develop, and a guy that either is going to be a low risk, high reward kind of a player that the Lions either hit home run, obviously struck gold with this player with a cheap signing with a high potential, or it's a low risk where you're just not going to lose anything even if he continues to play at the level he's been for his entire career. Moving on to the third signing of the offseason. This third signing was one that was actually a little unfortunate for me. Obviously, more so because of the player we lost out on, more so than the player we signed. But the third player that is joining the Detroit Lions organization is kicker Randy Bullock. Now, Randy Bullock has been a longtime kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals and has been a very efficient kicker throughout his NFL career. In his long tenured NFL career, he has totaled about an 83.2% field goal percentage in his career, hits field goals at about an 83.2%, obviously success rate. On his extra points, he's a 95.6% success rate, and I believe the ones that he has missed, a majority of them have been blocked. Now, Randy Bullock by no means is a bad kicker. Randy Bullock is a very accurate kicker. He's a guy that's going to hit you a lot of field goals. He's a guy that's going to be relatively consistent for you all year, which is something Matt Prater actually struggled with a season ago. However, as I said, I'm a little bit disappointed that we did miss out on Matt Prater, more so because of his ability to hit those long game-winning field goals, whereas Randy Bullock has never really had that leg to hit those 60, 65-yard field goals. He's never really had that ability to hit those long 50, low 60-yard field goals. He's never had the leg to do that, and obviously some kickers just don't have that ability. That doesn't make them bad kickers. That just means that you'll have to be a little closer to field goal range, and that means their field goal range is a little bit less, and that is obviously the case with Randy Bullock. He doesn't quite have the leg that Matt Prater had, but I do think he's going to be a little bit more consistent. I don't think we're going to see Randy Bullock miss the extra points, miss some of the easier chip shot field goals that should be gimmies that Matt Prater missed a season ago. So I think we're kind of trading off for more consistency, but less ability to maybe hit that long game winner. So it's kind of a trade-off there. I don't think by any means Randy Bullock is a bad pickup. I think he's probably one of the better free agent kickers, one of the more experienced, one of the more proven, and one of the more consistent kickers through this free agent process, and obviously we got him very cheap as well. We got him on a 1 year, $1.5 million contract, so extremely cheap for a kicker, nothing really breaking the bank there. And again, I think we're getting a solid, efficient, consistent kicker, but a guy nonetheless that maybe won't be able to hit that 59, 60-yard game-winning kick if he is put in that situation like Matt Prater has been in many times before for our Lions team. The fourth and final free agent signing of today's video, and the fourth and final free agent signing that the Lions made this past week, is probably the most intriguing and probably the most exciting one, as the Detroit Lions have agreed to a contract with wide receiver Breshad Perriman for a 1 year, $3 million contract. Breshad Perriman is a 27-year-old wide receiver standing at 6'2", but running in the 4.2 40-yard dash. running about a 4.25 at his pro day. However, some of the times, obviously hand times, had him down in the 4.19 range, and some of them had him closer to a 4.3 range. Regardless of where he sits, regardless of where he is in his 40-yard dash, whether it be on the lower or higher end of that, Breshad Perriman is an incredibly speedy wide receiver. Breshad Perriman has been consistent throughout a majority of his NFL career. He's played for 3 NFL teams. This will be his 4th NFL team as a veteran wide receiver. He averages throughout his career about 500 to 600 yards a season. He's been a very reliable target, has been a very solid target for many NFL teams, for many quarterbacks throughout the years. He's going to add a lot of speed, as I said, runs in that 4.2, early 4.3 range. He gets pretty good separation, has pretty good separation ability as well, and is really the speedster that I think Lions fans have been looking for. The Lions, especially as a team, have really been lacking in that speed and athleticism department. Their wide receivers have not been fast for a very long time. We really haven't had that big, fast, strong wide receiver since Calvin Johnson was in the building many years ago at this point. So the Lions have really been lacking at athleticism. They've really been lacking for athleticism at the wide receiver spot, and that is what Breshad Perriman is going to bring. Breshad Perriman is going to bring size, he's going to bring speed, he's going to bring athleticism. Although he's not going to be a 1,000-yard receiver, although he's not going to be, a Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay-esque production, he is going to stretch the field. He is going to be a good wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, and obviously for just $3 million, I do like this contract as well, and I do like the pickup of Breshad Perriman. So those are the 4 players that the Lions ended up signing this week. Backup quarterback, rotational edge rusher, a kicker, starting kicker, a guy that can be pretty good, pretty efficient for a long time, and should be really consistent for the Detroit Lions, and a really solid depth wide receiver pickup as well. Overall, this week, I'm very happy with the Lions pickups. Overall, I'm very happy with the way this free agency period is going. I think the Lions are going about it the smart way. They're not paying big money to anybody. They're not giving out big long-term contracts. They're really trying to get in young guys, see who they can develop, see who they can turn around, see who they can mold. They're not giving out big money. They're not giving out long-term contracts. They're kind of giving out smaller, lesser contracts to younger, more developmental, higher potential players to see if they can maybe mold and develop them. And if they do, then they re-sign them and bring them back for a long term. And if they don't, it's only a 1-year minimum deal contract. So from that standpoint, I really like the way the Lions are going in this free agency process. However, just because that's all the Lions have done so far does not mean that they are done in the free agent market. The Lions are rumored to be interested in a safety. The Lions are interested and are rumored to be interested in a couple of different safety prospects. However, one in particular has stood out, and one in particular has had more credibility than others, as the Detroit Lions, as this rumor is that the Lions are interested in former Atlanta Falcons starting safety Damontae Kazee. If I said that correctly, I apologize if I did not, but Damontae Kazee, however his name is pronounced, the safety out of Atlanta. Now, Damontae Kazee has been a very solid safety for the Atlanta Falcons over the past couple of years. He is a 4-year NFL veteran at this point. He was a little injury prone last year and didn't really get a lot of playing time in his first season. However, in the 2 seasons prior to last season, so in his 2018 and 2019 tenure, and in his 2018 and 2019 campaign, Damontae Kazee has totaled over 10 interceptions in just those 2 years alone, and has totaled over 5 forced fumbles in those 4 years as well. So he has forced a lot of turnovers in the NFL. He's a smaller name safety, obviously coming off an injury-prone season, should lower his value a little bit. Does not have the biggest name, does not have the flashiest name, is not going to get the biggest contract, and obviously is coming off a season where he was injury-prone. However, that has not been a consistent issue throughout his career, so I'm not worried about it. And as I said, the dude forces turnover. He's a ball-hawking free safety. He's a ball-hawking guy who's going to really rip the ball away. He's going to force turnovers for your team. As I said, 10 turnovers, 10 interceptions in just 2 full seasons of play. If the Lions were to sign him, if this rumor is true and the Lions are interested in him, and I believe it is true, I believe they are interested, as it has been reported recently that they will be bringing him in for a visit. They will be bringing him in to talk to him. I think this rumor is true. I think it's very likely that the Lions are actually interested in Damontae Kazee, and I would be incredibly happy with this signing. I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money. He's still a relatively young safety. He forces a lot of turnovers turnovers and would fill in another spot for the Detroit Lions at the safety position, adding more depth and more talent to compete with, obviously giving our new defensive coordinator and former defensive backs coach in Aaron Glenn another weapon to work with in the secondary. With all of that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Those are the news and rumors that have come out recently about the Detroit Lions. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this Lions team. Are you happy with the signings the Lions have made so far? Are you happy with some of the rumors that have been coming out? And would you be happy if the Lions were to sign Damontae Kazee as another safety for the Lions? Let me know all that down in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about these news, these signings, and these rumors. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. If there is Lions news, if there is more Lions news, whether that be they actually sign Damontae Kazee or they sign somebody else or they're interested in somebody else, if there is more news or rumors to come out, I will obviously be back later with more content. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. If there is more Lions news, I will be back in the week. I will be back tomorrow with more Lions content. But until then, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. I will see you all tomorrow with more Lions content. But until then, of course, go Lions.